Chat, I don't know what they were cooking with this last update, but we've officially reverted back to verse 1. You know, back in the day, there used to be complaints about build variety and everyone using a tuneless medium because that's what was best. And Shrine of Order came and kind of changed that and allowed people to make, unique fun builds. And chat, I'm here to tell you that we have officially gone full circle. Because after this last update, a tuneless medium is meta again. I swear to God, this game makes actually no sense. Let's just talk about Archmage Forgot.
Hot place and ways the mind can't figure out. Hot place and ways the mind can't. Hot place and ways the mind can't figure.
You know, after that last Archmage Forgot video, I low-key didn't realize how much stuff in Deepwoken is actually just neglected. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm like a freak and I read basically every comment, and there was quite a few suggestions in there. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them were better than anything I could have came up with myself. Like always with Archmage Forgot, if you guys have any ideas, join the Discord and, tell me them, or just leave a comment. And without further ado, let's look at some of these ideas. First idea comes from a member of my Discord, Mango Lover, and his idea was the golden rats. Now, if you told me you didn't know what the golden rats were, I honestly would not blame you, because at this point, I don't even think the devs know what they are. Essentially, in Upper Arisia, there's a faction called the Golden Knights, and if you fight them, they drop golden plates. When you get enough of these golden plates, you can turn them in for a chest reward with pretty mid loot. Now granted, this is meant for like lower levels, so I don't expect like an ultra giga mega hard thing, but I do have a potential idea for a rework to the golden rats. In certain fighting games, they have like a tournament system. And in this hypothetical Deepwoken tournament that I'm thinking of, you would fight 5 rounds against different golden rats. And every round you would get a chest. These rounds would get like progressively harder, and I think there would be like 5 in total, with the final stage being like a decent challenge for a new player. And if you manage to best this freak in combat, he would give you his chestplate as a reward. This chestplate would contain a talent called Rat's Pride. My idea for Rat's Pride would be that for the first 3 attacks you take in a fight, you take reduced damage. This would be kinda strong, but not too strong, and it's kind of a nice nod to like the knights letting you hit them 3 times before they actually fight back. This next suggestion comes from Murray in my comment section, and they mentioned the 100 Legions as a forgotten feature in Deepwoken. And now that I think about it, the Legion really just exists. Like it's really just a bunch of guys who like use wind chilling. And it kind of sucks because they're so cool. Like Brutus is just this guy who just chills in prison and he can just escape whenever he wants, but he chooses not to. And then there's this supposed Praetorian whose staff that we stole from Primadon that supposedly exists. But besides the staff, there's nothing done with the Legion in game. And I have a suggestion to fix that, people. Niggas talk big game about the Ignition Unit origin, but let me put y'all on game real quick. They don't know about that 100 Legions origin. So with the 100 Legions origin, you would spawn at the little camp at Arisia. And since in lore, like, the 100 Legions are trying to get revenge on the Authority for betraying them, that's why they're at Arisia. And so you would talk to like the camp head and you would receive missions from her. These missions would range from like espionage, so like gathering information on the Authority for EXP, or even like finding Authority guards on the island and defeating them for EXP. As you rank up, you could like go to like the Hive Legion base that would hypothetically exist if this origin hypothetically existed. And there you could receive like espionage missions at like Fort Merit, or like a mission to like defeat like an Authority captain. And I think like one like big mission could be like you sneak into Fort Merit and you beat like the one captain that's like in charge of the whole thing. And that would reward you with like a fat chest and a ton of EXP. And in my opinion, this would offer like a fun alternate form of progression that isn't entirely PvP focused. The next forgotten feature comes from me, and it's the poll last year, because the devs seem to have forgotten that Conquest didn't win it, and I feel the need to remind them every video because I think it's just so funny that we've been gaslit into wanting Conquest when nobody asked for this. The next real suggestion comes from ZJuice662, and they suggested missions from testing, but I want to expand on that and talk about missions in general. Missions and quests in Deepwoken just kind of flat out suck. They all really only have one objective, they don't really do much for world building, and they're all kind of like boring. And the thing is, every single progression you're forced to do them because you need the talents to min-max. Now I know that the feral PvP players are already in the comments talking about, oh no, don't make these quests longer, it's gonna make my min-maxing harder. And it's fine, bro, you can keep your little Sharko cave quest and your little ministry book report, but for the lore enjoyers, I have a few suggestions for us. So let's give a few examples. If you guys didn't know, in Deepwoken, there's a spot called Pathfinder's Respite at Arisia. The spot has become pretty irrelevant since gliders are just auto-obtained now. But back in the day, you'd have to do a quest with this NPC to obtain a glider schematic. Now that mechanic is kind of dead and gone, I have a few ideas for this NPC. In this guy's dialogue, he talks a lot about Duke, the Forge, and like the lore of Arisia. I think it's a damn shame that there's not really much going on with him besides that. So my idea is to kind of implement him as an optional thing into the Duke quest, where after starting the Duke quest and talking to Lord Regent, you can talk to him and he can maybe like tell you like the truth of and like what's really kind of going on at Arisia. And if you like consciously choose to talk to him, maybe for like your first clear on Duke, he can like come and help you, kind of like an Elden Ring summon or something. After defeating Duke, instead of going back to Regent, you would like go back to him and you would talk to him. He would like maybe tell you some stuff about the lore of Arisia and maybe even some stuff about his Hero Blade, since he's really secretive about that in his dialogue and like the lore of Hero Blades in general. This quest obviously wouldn't be the only one they add, but I think if they do choose to add quests like this, it would do a lot for world building and sort of like satisfy the itch that a lot of players have for the lore of this game. The next and final forgotten feature is the subscribe button, because why haven't you subscribed to my channel? Like, that shit is really crazy, bro. It's right there. Like, just press that shit, bro. Nah, but the real last suggestion of the video comes from my friend Nova. And Nova mentioned cooking talents. And something that I didn't realize until someone in my Discord brought it up to me was that the cooking talents straight up don't even work. I don't even know if that's true, but even if it isn't, like, the talents are pretty boring anyway. One talent just gives your food more nutritional value, which is like cool. Everyone runs carnivore anyway. And the second just increases the bonus you get from eating certain types of food, which I low-key think is a forgotten feature in and of itself, because who uses food boosts anymore? My idea for like fixing the chef talents is to kind of like rework them all together. My idea is to have a chef support oath. And this oath would allow you to make your food do certain things. Much like Salchemist, you would be given a few things that you could mix into your recipes. Things like salt, spices, marinades. These would enhance your food and allow for them to give like different buffs to your allies. Buffs like an incoming healing bonus, enhanced versions of like the damage and speed buffs that already exist. Maybe even like throwable pies or like poisoned food that can like obscure your enemies. For talents, you could have like systems like you can get bonus food on like crafting, or after you've done a recipe enough times, you unlock like food mastery for it, which would enhance further versions of the food that you make for your allies. I think systems like this would make food viable again and actually allow for a fun support options for players who don't want to just crutch Link Strider. I think that's actually it for the suggestions that I have today, but I'm certain that there's a lot more forgotten stuff in Deepwoken. So once again, if you guys have any suggestions for Archmage Forgot, make sure to leave them in the comments, or again, join my Discord and just tell me them directly. I'm a pretty alright dude. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.